Hello, I'm Les Miller. Wanted to talk today about the theories of Einstein and some thoughts I have on how they need just a bit of revision. And would like to start off, actually, before I discuss the theories themselves, with a little story about maybe something you know, the Antikythera mechanism. Ancient Greek device. Here I've got the Wikipedia page up on screen here. The hand-powered model of the solar system described as the oldest known example of an analog computer. It had a complicated system of gears, and when you turned the gears, you could find the position of the sun, rather the moon, and the various planets that they knew of at the time without telescopes, all the way out to Saturn, found off the coast of Antikythera in 1901. It was so incredibly accurate. You could just keep turning the dial, you keep getting positions for various planets, you could know when the next Olympiad was, all kinds of information you could get from it, but it was all from their human-centered, Earth-centered perspective. Now, since the days of Nicholas Copernicus, we have, of course, the greater, more expanded knowledge from a new framework, because we now know the Earth is not the center of the universe. But you look at the sky, you see everything go up, and you see everything go down, day by day, night by night, and it's not surprising they would reason from that point of view. So we need some reasoning from a new point of view for the theories of Albert Einstein. We're going to go over here, and on my other camera, we'll get the rest of this video. In our modern scientific world, we've got more knowledge, more facts and figures than we've ever had access to before. And yet, we're still interpreting them from a framework that's centered in our world and our point of view. And where do we see this in the theory of relativity? Well, as you may know if you've studied it, the closer you get to the speed of light, the shorter the distance appears to you, the slower the clock ticks, until you get to the point where at light speed, time is zero, distance is zero. What that means is, thinking about it not from our point of view, but from light speed's point of view, light doesn't move through the universe. The universe moves around light. It's light that's stationary. Just think about that for a moment. This has many, many ramifications. So just cover a few really quick. Number one, it explains how an electron can travel from one orbit level to another inside an atom and not travel in the distance in between. Somehow, some way, it basically ceases to exist and then comes back into existence because of this somehow, some way matter is connected with this idea of light being the singularity in a way yet we don't understand, and maybe we never will. It also explains quantum entanglement. We've got a lot of math to do to prove that, and I don't have that math, but if someone could, I think it would be a good thing. Because of that, if it was possible to travel at the speed of light, being as time is zero and distance is zero, what would happen is the entire universe would collapse upon you, and you would be everywhere, and you would be every when at the same time. There's therefore no need for warp speed, for hyperspace, for any of the things we see in science fiction. Another interesting thought. But one of the biggest things that this understanding of Einstein's theories does is it totally and completely upends the Big Bang Theory. Got a picture of a bicycle, tire hanging in my garage here. We can imagine our version of history as being on the wheel's edge in this arc of time as time is flowing. I've cut the picture off at the bottom, as you see, because I don't want to give some sort of, the world is a circle kind of philosophical thing. I'm not trying to say that. We are flowing, time is flowing in one direction. But the universe didn't come into existence 14 billion years ago in the sense we're thinking, that all the matter was all together in one spot that scientists cannot find, and then it all exploded. That the singularity was not then, the singularity was not in the same kind of existence we're in. Light speed itself is the singularity. That's how matter came into existence, from light speed down to the reality that we are in now. Which, of course, is not only scientific ramifications, but philosophical ramifications. So we're going to cross this video over now from dealing with purely physical things into some metaphysical ideas. Start off by just, I've got this spot here, just give me a minute. Boldly Go by William Shatner. Okay? Haven't read it yet. My wife gave it to me for a wedding anniversary gift this year. But a little opening quote, as authors like to do, put a quote from somebody else just right near the beginning of the book, right by the contents. This is from Carl Sagan. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself. Sounds good, right? Sounds philosophical, sounds deep. And doesn't it sound somehow spiritual? And yet, it wasn't Carl Sagan an atheist? Wasn't Carl Sagan somebody who thought that people who believed in God, in any kind of higher spiritual being, were morons? Were antiquated? Were no better than the Catholics of the Middle Ages, burning people at the stake? There's 5 different ways you can classify all the world's belief systems. So just put this back. There's atheism, monotheism, polytheism, pantheism, and agnosticism. So that means no God, one God, many gods. God is an impersonal force in nature, or is nature itself. And I really don't know. I'd really rather not deal with it. Please leave me alone. Quotes like that, and you'll hear the same kind of words from Neil deGrasse Tyson, from Brian Cox. You and I are made of the same things the stars are made of. That's really pantheism. That's not atheism. Science claims to have a complete, unbiased look at the universe, but yet they still have to find some sort of meaning in all that knowledge. I'm a Christian. I come across from the monotheistic perspective, and I make no apologies for that. And with that, I want to tell you, the singularity, it's not just a physical thing. It's a personal thing. It's a being. And his name is God. And people think, oh, come on, Les, you're an idiot, you're a moron. Well, science fiction has embraced this idea. Take a look at some still photos from 2 different episodes of Star Trek, where you had what originally was thought of as just, I don't know, a machine or something that could somehow access all of time and space. And yet, in a further episode later on, in one of the new versions of the show, Star Trek Discovery, we see this same thing as now a person. Well, yeah, there's truth to that. It's just The Bible gives us the knowledge of who the right person is. The Lord Jesus Christ said, "I am the light of the world." On the first day of creation, God said, "Let there be light." It wasn't just let there be physical light. It was let the universe exist according to the physical laws that I've created for it. But we get proof for this. Proof specifically for this understanding of Einstein from the Bible, spoken 4,000 years ago. In Job chapter 38, verse 19, "Where is the way to the dwelling of light? And darkness, where is its place? Where is the way to the singularity?" He is the singularity. I've been told that that list in those last few chapters in the book of Job has God asking 86 different questions. I never counted them myself, but I did do a study one time of them all, and I noticed that about 2/3 of them we have found answers to, but 1/3 we haven't, and this is one of them. Think also about Job 38:12 and the idea of time travel and, oh no, we changed history, what are we going to do, being so common in science fiction. "Have you commanded the morning since your days began and caused the dawn to know its place?" I want you to think also about Psalm 73:25. With all the hope we have of being able to go out to the stars and find out what's out there and gain even more knowledge. "Whom have I in heaven but you? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides you." Think about it. You go out there, what will you find? You'll find a perfect universe where everybody that lives there is in harmony with each other and in harmony with God, because it's a kingdom of love and kindness. This is the only planet in rebellion, and soon this world is going to end, and Jesus Christ is going to come in the sky and make a new world where we will be with him forever, part of that world. 1 Timothy 6, verse 16. "Who alone has immortality, dwelling in unapproachable light, whom no man has seen or can see." It's not just physical light, it's the light of truth. It's all the knowledge, all the facts and figures, but it's also all the meaning. You have to put them together to have a complete, well-rounded understanding of what this world is really all about and what life is really all about. We have this word science in the English language, and we have the word conscience as well. Science is included in conscience, and yet the people who dwell only on science, they claim religion is a con. But what do we have in our world today? Science without conscience. People taking all the incredible technology we have and using it for bad purposes. That's why we need virus protection on our computers. That's why we're all afraid of scammers trying to reach out to us. And that's why we're still at risk of nuclear war. Because of science without conscience. You need the con in order for the science to be truly meaningful, to know how to apply the facts and figures. That is the right framework. And so we're going to end on those thoughts. May God bless you.